Today's podcast is brought to you by The Juke Gaming, Buy, Sell, Trade, and Repair, and The Ripper the Clown Show on YouTube, an unpredictable comic book character come to life.
Just in case you didn't digest that, let's look at it one more time from a different angle.
He's poking at the big man.
Yeah, that's right. So we're putting it down. It's like a family in here, we're just a little disabled. Putting it down.
Welcome back to the Two Broke Jobless Guys Who Are Frustrated with Wrestling. This next topic, Dr. Nick thought of all by himself with no help from anybody.
I was thinking today about technology and its impact on the wrestling industry as a whole. You know, as we all know, the rise of the internet definitely helped exposure to storylines, which a lot of people say kind of ruined wrestling. People became smart marks and were able to do spoilers and stuff like that.
I'm kind of on that side. I think
Yeah.
it kind of ruined it, but it helped it. It helped it expand. It had a better outreach, but it kind of ruined it.
Do you think that the internet helped ECW?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you're a small company, ECW, they had so many internet marks, you know, because the whole west part of the country was like a no-go for ECW. They went to
Right.
California one time, and without the internet, nobody would have known what was going on in Philadelphia and in the Midwest. But for WWF, it's shoot interviews galore and it's just spoiling what wrestling is to fans.
Yeah, because before internet came along, you had what they call tape trading, where, you know, your buddies, hey man, you know, I got a bunch of matches from Japan, you know, you want to trade tapes, I got some stuff from, you
Yeah.
know, this other company, and that's what you did. You know, you'd send it in the mail or, you know, whatever. That was your basic swapping.
Remember the days when you would go over to a friend's house, or they weren't a wrestling fan, or you go on vacation, you had to call your mom on the landline. Hey mom, can you tape SmackDown for me tonight? Can you?
Yep. I remember I was in Florida, and this was the episode where Big Show took down the Titantron. My grandma, we were staying in Florida at my grandma's house, and the cable went out because it was in the middle of a really bad storm. I was like, crap, I gotta see this. So I actually went as far as going next door, and the hotel that was next door to the condominium, it didn't knock out the satellite.
sweet.
So there I was sitting in this hotel lobby downstairs watching Monday Night Raw.
Would you do that today?
Yeah, I would actually.
You would actually watch.
If I was...
I need to see what Ryback's doing.
Yeah, I gotta see what Ryback's was doing.
Yeah, because I remember the days, like, if you were going out of town and you guys didn't have any blank tapes around the house, you were screwed. There was no, like, recap show.
No, because, like, there was actual times where I got in trouble for this, but I accidentally taped over my grade school graduation. Yeah, because...
That's awesome.
Because we all know when you record stuff on tape, once you break that little plastic tab off, you can take a piece of tape, put it over it, and you can record again.
Yeah.
Most tapes recorded up to 8 hours. So I usually had, like, I have tons of tapes at home of literally Raws, SmackDowns, you know, for years. And I would literally go through the house if I couldn't find one, and I would get in trouble because later on my mom and dad would be like, damn it, you taped over Murphy Brown. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
Because she would pop in the tape. This isn't my cooking show.
Yeah, wrestling to me, it's kind of sad now because my kid will never know wrestling without the internet age. Because I was at the very last age. I was born in '92, so I kind of grew up in the late '90s, early 2000s. Very last age before the internet took over the world.
Yeah.
And now our kids will just get everything they need to know from online.
Well, you could definitely tell that WWF was definitely getting into it, because I actually have an issue of WWF magazine from like '94. It has Bret Hart on the front of it, sponsored by AOL.
Wow.
It has him in a classroom sitting down with a bunch of kids, and he's like showing them how to use the computer.
Well, and in 2000, remember what was at the bottom of the Titantrons?
Yep, .com.
Yeah.
You know, download this.
Yep.
Well, because with them doing that, you were able to buy merchandise without going to a paper catalog. It was quicker, as opposed to calling somebody up.
Why do you think it was less annoying back then? Because now they're like, download the app every 10 minutes.
I think the reason why it was less annoying was because they relied more on their product as a whole. They didn't have to rely on, okay, well, what's the newest fad? There for a while, it was MySpace, then it was Facebook. Every one of the wrestlers have a Facebook page. Tout. Yeah. That's out now. They have Vine, which is taken over. They're branching, before they came up with, with the network, it was actually supposed to debut, like 3 or 4 years ago. They came up with WWE on YouTube, a whole channel of extra shows.
I think that's because of the delay.
They had to suffice people. They had to go, well, we don't have it ready yet, so here you go.
Which pisses me off because I booted up my on-demand today, and I was pissed to see that my WWE On Demand was gone. My 24/7.
I know, right?
I'm like, where did that go?
Yeah, no one told me this. What the hell?
That kind of just fizzled out, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a good concept.
Yeah.
But it was the same content a lot. I think that's what really bittered people. Technology, when it comes to cameras, I mean, I personally don't really care for high definition.
It doesn't do anything. I don't feel special watching Raw now that it's HD. I don't feel any different.
Yeah, I don't need to see, the sweat droplets on Randy Orton's eyebrow.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal to me. I mean, to me, it's never really been about, like, if I really had to, I would have been okay with watching it in black and white back in the day.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, it's just the excitement of watching it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, when I first had my little 32-inch TV in my bedroom, I didn't really care of, oh, well, it's a small screen. I didn't care.
Well, the proof of that is now when you watch a network, all the old footage is like in this really small black box.
Yep, they formatted it into HD capabilities.
Nobody's watching the new HD stuff. We are so, like, hooked to that era that we're willing to watch old WWF on this tiny box on your screen.
Yeah.
We don't care. It's the content. It's not the quality.
Yeah. And sort of the downside of the technology, which you think would have made things better, were the toys.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this. They started out with 8-inch rubber figures, very primitive.
Yeah, that they just kind of...
there was no articulation.
Yeah, they winged it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, with all the technology of having 3D face scans to get tattoos right, make it look like the actual person, we get these little pieces of thin plastic that you literally move their arm and it snaps off.
Yeah.
I've seen a CM Punk action figure. He has gray hair. Explain that to me. I'm pretty sure CM Punk does not dye his hair.
He had a full head of gray hair?
Yeah, it was at Kmart.
That must have been a...
And I thought it was a mess up.
Yeah.
But I've seen it other places too.
Huh.
I've seen it at Walmart. I've seen it at Target. It was those stupid little Super Strikers. The one with the paper chairs.
Oh, the paper chairs, yeah.
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 It's stupid.
My favorite is the one with the paper fire extinguisher.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, of course, before that, they had the Jacks. And then early 90s, they had the Hasbros. They didn't really have a lot of technology in it, but they made these guys look pretty close to what they are. With all the computer and the CGI and all that kind of stuff now, you wonder why they put out this garbage.
They don't use it right. Technology arguably has ruined or spoiled wrestling on the internet side, but also it should be way better because we're in 2014.
Yeah.
The video games should be like E3 is happening today. Okay, and I was watching the Electronic Arts E3 part, and they were showing their Maddens and their FIFAs. What they're doing with FIFA now is they're making every single player have feelings and memories. So if they get screwed up in a play, it will remember it. And it will act pissed off the whole game.
Oh, wow.
And they have things to where, like, the grass kicks up. You can see all the stuff. You can see blood. The fans are roaring. They're becoming very smart games.
That's cool.
And every single detail to the flags on the field, they look so real.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, wrestling games, it's the same recycled building with a different ring in the middle of it.
They can't get the guys to look right.
No, they can't get the guys to look right. It's like, if you want to be in Madison Square Garden, tough luck, because WrestleMania 1 is in the same arena as every other thing. Mm-hmm. It's just, they lack in that. That might be just licensing.
I don't blame it on the developer, because I hope it's a long shot, but could you imagine if Rockstar Games got a hold of that?
Yeah, that's a big thing on the internet. Everybody wants that.
Oh my gosh. They would totally revolutionize the wrestling game industry.
One thing that needs to be worked on in WWE games is the season modes.
Yeah, those
I
are
haven't played a good one since SmackDown.
repetitive.
SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. That's the
Yeah.
last one that was really good.
Because before you can unlock people,
Yeah.
special arena, stuff like that. Now it's all downloadable content. It's
yeah.
like, so why did I bother playing 3 hours of a season for nothing?
Mhm.
Like, oh boy, I unlocked a different outfit. It's like, okay.
And it's bullshit to say that there's not enough room on the game.
Yeah, there's
because
tons of room.
right now they just came out with the Halo collection that has 4 games on one disc.
Yeah, there's no excuse for
Yeah.
that because Blu-ray holds a lot more.
Oh yeah, the WWE 13 had 15 Attitude Era stars, and then the rest were 99 cents to $3
Right.
download.
One thing that it did take a big chunk out of, because years ago, before they, like, WWF Magazine debuted, I believe it was in like 83, 84, and it was called Victory Magazine. Before that, all you had was Pro Wrestling Illustrated, The Wrestler, stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's how people, before internet and, different TV shows, were able to figure out about their different wrestlers. You had to go to the newsstand, get your magazine. You'd learn about people from Japan, people from Europe, stuff like that. That's all you had.
That's even how wrestlers found out about other wrestlers.
Yeah.
Mick Foley found out about the Valentine and Piper match through Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that Pro Wrestling Illustrated still makes issues. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
WWF Magazine has definitely lacked over the years, but me being me, good old doctor, I gotta stick with it. I have basically every issue for the last 20-something years.
Do you still have a subscription, or do you buy them from the store?
I still have a subscription. It's a lot cheaper. It's
it is.
$15 for an entire 12 issues.
And they send you stuff in the mail.
Yeah, I get a lot of free stuff
for
too.
being a long-time customer.
Yep, I've been a customer probably for, since like 97.
Wow.
So, I get free hats, all different kinds of stuff, I'd have to say that, and I had a discussion with a friend of mine, and I think I had it with you as well. When we look back on times of nostalgia, but when we look at it, we think, okay, it was pretty good, that's the way we remember it. And then when we go back and rewatch it, we're like, oh man, some of that stuff was pretty crappy. So, with technology being the way it is, I don't know. I mean, I like the internet, don't get me wrong. It's such a great tool. I love the fact that they have streamlined buying stuff, shows are put together better. I guess I'm just a nostalgic old fart to where I almost want to just throw my cell phone away. I can't go on the internet because it's ruined for me in 2 seconds.
Well,
whether it's Facebook, one of the sites, whatever.
Well, even like Wrestling Inc. and WrestleZone try to keep the so-called kayfabe and the storylines alive, but then they'll also post SmackDown spoilers, Yeah. Like, come on. I hate when they try to put themselves over as this reliable, honorable wrestling media site, where it's like, come to us for your wrestling news, we love wrestling, but then they slap them in the face by posting their spoilers, so they're just cashing in on the fact that they're a scripted show.
They are.
And how can you call yourself respectable and honorable and piss on the legacy of what you're trying to put over?
Well,
it's stupid.
I had that thought this morning. I was eating my bowl of Cocoa Puffs, and I was watching the network.
Cocoa Puffs today.
They're awesome. Because after you're done, you have chocolate milk.
How'd you afford Cocoa Puffs? I gotta get those
I was
generic.
Dollar Tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's only $1.
They're a little expired, but
yeah, it's all right. There's no rats in it. But I was thinking about it this morning, and when it comes to the new age of every newfangled contraption, makes me sound like an old fart. I just long for simpler times.
Yeah.
Like I miss getting Coliseum video VHS tapes from the video store. Technology will always go forward. It'll always be something new. They're always going to come out with something. They announced a couple of years ago that they're still going to make a paper version, but they announced that you can now get digitally the WWF magazine on your tablet.
I've never been, I'm a comic guy, love comic books, never been a digital guy.
Yeah, me
I always
neither.
gotta have the paper.
Same here.
But it's just, there's a dark side and bad side to technology, I guess, because on the shoot interview side, it's just like, man, this is really dark. But then on the WWE Network side, it's like I still think like, man, like the pay-per-view's coming up, you know, you're gonna fork over $50. Oh wait, you already got it.
Yeah.
You paid your $10. You already have it. It's
Yep.
like free almost.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, don't take it for granted, because if WWE falls on hard times, that could be taken away.
Yeah.
Or the price could go up monthly. But that's great stuff.
You know, technological advances will always be number one. Who can get to the newest thing? Who can do the newest, you know, thing that's going to bring people in? You know, like with when they first started doing polls on matches on Monday Night Raw, when they did the Cyber Sunday.
Cyber Sunday was a huge
the Taboo
breakthrough.
Tuesday, you know, shit like that.
That was a huge breakthrough.
Yeah. I mean, they capitalized on people are going to vote on this.
Well, I'd say that technology with WWE doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But it's the fans that have the same access to that technology.
They ruin it.
They ruin it for
Yeah.
everybody else. You know, like back in the day, if WWE got new cameras, those things are worth, you know, however many grand. Fans weren't going to get those and, you know, do what they were doing. But now everybody has a cell phone and an internet show like us.
Yeah.
And some people use that to do negative things.
They do.
Unfortunately, and we've even seen it
Mm-hmm.
on our channel, the negative topics get the most views.
Yeah, we've got like over close to 600 views for shoot interviews.
Shoot interviews, yeah.
I came up with that one day as a topic. I had no idea that many people wanted to hear about that.
Yeah, it's negativity rules the world.
I mean, I was like, cool. And thank you everybody for subscribing to our channel.
Yeah, we got 25 subscriptions in 2 days.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, I'm not saying we're not great, because I think we're doing pretty good.
Because we're awesome.
Yeah, we're awesome. You know, but we're going to go ahead and close this up. And before we go, we're going to give a shout out to our sponsors.
Ramen noodles, expired Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. And Long John Silver's.
All right, we're going to go panhandle.